Reflection.
Welcome. As the days of uncertainty continue, we don't know what's going to happen. We can hypothesize or try to predict whether Sophia will return or ancient prophecies will come true. Maybe a split or division leading to the true wealth redistribution to those who need it. I know royalty seems to be topic of the day, and following that line, I feel it. I hope you do too. But I made a comment today about putting the right people in the right places for Parliament. How farmers and people of those rural areas should be in charge of that. People of doctors and nurses should be in charge of healthcare. The same for teachers and schooling and education. It would only make logical sense that you have the people who know the most about the field covering those areas, right? So why do we have politicians who know nothing about the area that they have the portfolio for? Doesn't make sense. And the response was, how do you get those people into those areas? Because anyone who is aware of this understands that people who enter a broken system either gets shunned away from it, pushed out of it, or smear campaigned against them before they even start. They are bullied because they have lack of funding or finances, or they don't gather enough momentum or supporters for their challenge. You can't fix a broken system with bandages. You need to lay a new pipe. And this statement that I said is profound, because you can't. The system is so full of tyranny and disruption and greed and manipulation and power-hungry fools that you can't fix it. You can't enter it and try to change it because it is broken. There are policies that might work, but all of it is laid out to control people. It doesn't matter how good you are or how good your intentions are, unless you fall victim to their mentality or their corporate greed, you'll never make a change to that system. So how do you get the right people in the right places without tyranny or overthrowing them with violence? I've said this before in a lot of conversations, but I think it's just as relevant now. It starts with the local communities, the local governments, the shires, the councils, that they must adapt and adopt the new principles, the new way of health and well-being for its people, founded by institutional money or money from the people. They must have the backing of the courts, the backing of the education system, the parents, the police, the teachers, the military. All of these things from local government. They must not have fear. Because when you build local government, local communities, and it expands through the neighboring communities as well, you bring forward love, you bring forward care and abundance and the well-being for our children without war or violence. The only time that tends to happen is when there is a threat against a system that is doing the same controlling, and they fear you, so they place anger and hatred and fear back upon you. They threaten you with war and violence and prison time, incarceration, so that you don't continue. Where is the love in that? Where is the support in that? And people still vote that stuff in. You see, People who question, well, how will you get them on side? How will you get petrol to fill your tanks? How will you get food to the supermarkets if you're unable to control it? Yeah, local communities are small, but how will you control that? Easy. You see, faith and belief is one thing, but it doesn't always get the job done. But there are people who drive those trucks full of fuel. There are people who run those banks that have access to the money that we need. There are people who run the securities. There are people and soldiers alike. A lot of these people are only doing what they can to survive, only doing what they're told because they are fearful themselves. There is only a handful of elites. We know this, whether it's 100 to 1, 1,000,000 to 1. There's only so little, but they have the perceived view of power. They have done it that way to showcase that they have power and position and strategy and all of the wealth that they require, but they do not. The people do. There are people in situations that run this country that all it takes is for them to support local community. And you build from small place to small place and you grow collectively. You therefore do so because if someone then threatens that, you have the backing of everyone. And that takes over the lands and forces those who have no power anymore. You attack the humility of those in positions of power and control by weapons and warfare. And not be afraid. That is how they control people. Fear, law. But when you can stand in view, and unfortunately stand without fear, which is what the hardest thing is, because even if it takes one person, an accident to happen that showcases how can this be done to humanity, it would change the way everything is seen, how people react. But it doesn't have to get that way. But when you use that on people, they have a soul, they have a heart. You build community. You attack them. You infiltrate their mind about their kids, their schooling systems. Do you want your kid to be fallen victim to this mentality? Or one of growth and love and farming? Curiosity? You therefore have the right people in the right positions, money going to the right places in community farms and hospitals, education systems. This isn't an ism, this isn't a socialism or communism or community-based isms. No, it's community, it's growth, it's power. It's using infiltration tactics against themselves. The difficulty when you use this type of mentality is having people believe it because they have grown up in a world that they don't know anything other than that. They go, it can't be done, it can't be happened, it's too hard. But it's not. It happens over and over again, where violence is made, but they're ready for violence, where rioting and rallies are all more prevalent, but nothing gets done. They want that stuff because they know how to attack against it. The only time things truly change is when the people stand up and walk away. When the people have nothing left to lose. When they have no fear, but they stand up for their family. The hardest part is standing up for your family without fear. Without worrying about whether or not you have loss of life. Or whether or not they will be okay. For then you are not afraid. You are breaking free from the system of fear and control that they live you in. That's what everything happened. If everyone said no, we wouldn't have the things that we do now. But when you try to enter a system that was designed to keep you docile, to keep you succumb to the truth, to keep you fighting against yourselves, against humanity, when we are not the enemy. We are consistently being lied to over and over again, with narratives being played out. The world may shift and break, but we can't rely on that. It doesn't matter whether it does. To have a select few who are the new leaders of the world, or the new financiers, or the new royal bloodlines coming into equation, then the true people will just follow orders from a new boss. Gladly the world will change for the better, but it doesn't change people's mentality. They still harbor the same. It's a change in the energy and the frequencies of themselves to see others with kindness, not adopt principles of religion or fear upon them, and if they do not accept it, then they can kill you. This is about acceptance of all, not promotion of who has the better wealth or the better God or the better place or any of these likes. It is about freedom of expression, of curiosity, of growth, of love. But it takes people to stand up. You cannot stop the force. You can only succumb to it. And when the people realize that the more we tune out, the more we focus on our inner strength, the love we have for our family, our friends, nature, just the smallest of things can mean the biggest of changes. The butterfly effects of saving a bee that fell in a water puddle, seeing a butterfly float free, not being angry when we should be. These are the things that make the biggest changes. Because we are all frustrated. Frustrated about our lives, about why things are not happening, about the leaders who are destroying it. But you don't have to be. You choose to be. It doesn't make it any easier. But if we want to see change in our governments and change for the right people in the right places, it all starts within. It truly does. As basic and annoying as it sounds, it truly does. It starts within local communities and shires, making small changes. Seeing the big picture and saying, we will not participate in this. Not following curriculum or laws or guidance. It is the people who have the control, the weapons, and the force to say no more. There is shifts happening. There is abundance coming to those who deserve it, who need it, for their challenges are not coming. There are new bloodlines taking over while the old ones disappear. And they are trying so hard, so very hard, to cling on a falling ship. But this time, things will be different. This time, people have the choice. And when you think about it like that, what would you choose? So it is with that, I leave you with peace and love. Take care.